Hello again, Susana here from Linocave Prints. I wanted to offer some of my favorite tips today about block printing with fabric in your classroom. Little kids love printing and it can be great for them, but maybe giving them sharp tools in their early years is not the best idea to carve with. They can make their own blocks using Legos. It's a really fun way to print. They can design them, and I have a special guest here.
Hello, everybody.
This is Ken, my 7-year-old son. He's going to help print. He made these blocks.
I'm actually a big fan of Legos, if you didn't know. Just a little fun thing.
He's wearing a shirt that he printed when he was 5 years old. This is the remnant of that block. But basically, to create a Lego block, you just use...
this one, like that one.
Like that one. You use the flat pieces of Legos, and you can create textures with different pieces. And also circles can be really fun to add in there. These are the ones that Ken designed for today's assignment. And we're going to be printing on this white t-shirt. This is a great way to upcycle t-shirts. You can have kids bring in their own plain t-shirts from school.
Maybe you can even do a different color one and then use a bright color and then just put it on there because that would look a little bit better than white because...
Yeah, well, you can pick any color you want. This shirt is pre-washed. I've pinned it to my fabric table, which makes it easier, but is not necessary. You can lay it out on the table and still print it. It helps. And since it's here, we're going to do it this way. We have soft rubber brayers for applying ink, a palette knife, and we have our Speedball fabric block printing ink.
Yeah, because you need a palette knife to, so if anything got messed up, you can scrape it off.
The other thing is, for your classroom, Speedball has now debuted these larger ink tube sizes. These are 5 ounces, and they're a bit more economical than the smaller tubes, and we're so excited about them. So those are available for you, but I have some small tubes here on the table.
Yeah, you can go on to speedball.com/shop, and then you'll,
or Blick Art Supplies, or Artisan Craftsman Supply, or your local art supply store to get these inks. We're going to complicate things a little bit because Ken really loves printing rainbow blend rolls. So we are going to use a gradient of ink for this block.
And then the second small block, we're just going to do like whatever color.
Turquoise you picked. You picked turquoise. So the way to make a gradient roll, it's a little bit different than your standard ink roll. You
don't just like do like each one, like you don't do it on like a other side of plexiglass. That would be weird, but you do it on the...
We're going to lay out a small bead.
Just like a small...
Of each rainbow color.
That's the phone name.
And we're using the block to sort of measure the size, the width. We're going to have the ink, the width of the ink correspond to the width of the block.
It's a little bit easier than just normal printing because you have Legos and they're more easy to find than like the eraser printer.
Oh yes, everybody's got Lego at their house. I'm sure everybody's been stepping on them, like we have.
Don't say that in the thing.
It's true. So there, we've got our little rainbow.
Yeah, if you want to see it.
Laid out.
So then you don't do it in different directions. You can only do it in one direction because you don't want to mess it up. Because who wants to have a stupid rainbow?
Who wants to have a messed up rainbow?
Yeah,
so what we do is we make sure we get a little bit of the ink on each part of the brayer. I'm missing blue here. Yeah. And then we want to draw it down in the same direction as Ken noted.
You don't do it like a sloppy way.
Ken?
You don't do it like a way that...
We're going to do it very nicely here.
Don't do it. Oh, God.
Sorry, having technical difficulties. There we go.
All right.
So we have a nice rainbow.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. But we can't move the brayer in lots of different directions.
Because then it will get messed up, I said earlier.
Like you said earlier, it will get messed up. So we've got to go in one direction, and then when we ink our block, we've got to remember to orient it the same way.
Yeah. That looks good, actually. I didn't think it would turn out that good.
You didn't think it would turn out that well? Okay, and if you remember from yesterday's video, we always have a damp rag, especially to clean up messes with in our fingers. And you never print the first print onto whatever you want to print.
Because then it will look bad, and then...
Yeah, the first one never looks good. So I'm going to make sure I have sufficient ink on this. It's a little bit fussier than regular printing. And then I just have a scrap piece of fabric.
And then you just...
to do a test print. This is really important to remember this every single time and not be like so anxious and excited to go right to your shirt.
And
so it came out okay, but the next one's going to be better.
Yeah, that's going to be for later.
That's going to be, that's for later. Need a little bit more purple on there.
A little bit more purple so the purple gets, you can see the purple better than so the blue doesn't get mixed in with the purple.
Yep. Okay, Ken. So this is your moment.
This is moment of truth.
That's right. Now you can print.
Oh wait, no. Let's get this.
Ken is my good little printer. He printed all his Valentines, and he knows when he gets ink on his fingers that he wipes them off.
Just like that.
And then he's going to pick out where to put it. Okay.
I like it that crooked.
That's how he likes to apply pressure. I like the hard rubber brayer. He pounds on his own fist. We're all different. Great, Ken. Now you can pick it up.
Ooh, that is awesome, actually. It's like...
It looks very cool, and we'll show a picture of it at the end. So another important thing to remember is to always...
Oh, wait. You can't really see the blue that much. That's not good.
It's all right, Ken. Is to remember to put your block back down in the same direction as your rainbow. If you rotate it and then ink over it, all your colors will blend and it won't look good.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, because... You don't want to have like a...
Ooh.
Oh. Nothing good.
All this stuff's got to stay clean.
All this stuff's got to stay clean because you don't want to get messed up.
Okay, Ken, here you go.
Did you guys know I'm actually a pretty good singer? So.
Oh. Okay, so now he's changing the orientation of his block and putting it vertically this time instead of horizontally. Okay, great, Ken. That sounds like it was plenty of pressure.
I made like a T.
Oh, you did make like a T. Okay. Looks like we need a little bit more red. So I'm going to dip
it a little bit harder to get.
Yeah.
Make it more.
Make it nice and inky. And you can hear that nice sound. It's really important.
You actually really want to hear that sound because if you hear like pretty silent, that means you have too much ink.
That's right.
And then you have to scrape it off with the thing.
With the palette knife. Yeah, so it's really important to have even amounts of ink and to get it evenly on your brayer before you distribute it. It's a little bit harder to fix the problem once you get the wrong amounts of ink than it is with just a regular printing setup, which we're also going to show with this second block because Ken wants to make some accents in turquoise. Oh, goodness gracious.